previous class, we have discussed about the operation of MOS. You already aware of this particular aspect that we have discussed about operation of MOS. But now, this MOS system is actually being combined with your source. Here you can see this source. This is drain. And how it is going to work. That's quite interesting. So we have already gone through 3 different modes: strong accumulation, then depletion, then inversion. So we are going to discuss that mode one by one and see how this particular application of gate source voltage is going to affect the working of this particular system. So this is your MOSFET, cross-sectional area of MOSFET. Here you can see this is your source, this is your drain, and this is your source being grounded. This is VDS being grounded. So VGS is basically the voltage between gate and source, and this is less than the threshold voltage. The threshold voltage we have discussed in the previous class. So now this is also grounded. Now what is going to happen when we know that the potential on the gate is going to be less than threshold voltage? Then accumulation mode is there. But if it is less in between 0 and less than VT naught VGS, then it is in depletion mode. So here you can see depletion region is there and it is symmetrical. There is no non-uniformity over there. This is N plus, this is N plus, and this is P-type substrate, and this is depletion region, and we don't have any carrier inside this. Now, if we change the potential on the gate, then definitely we will notice that there will be some changes being reflected in this particular region. For simplicity, now onwards, we have grounded the body, and we assume that there is no body effect, because you know that if we are applying any potential, then VT is going to modify VT naught plus some function of BSB. Okay, so let's move ahead. So this is the channel. Here you can see this is the channel. This is the source end. This is the drain end. And this particular approach is called GCA, called gradual channel approximation. GCA approach. So here you can see we are having a source, we are having a drain, and we have picked a very small element dy, because we assume the channel is from y is equal to 0 to y is equal to L. The total length of the channel is L, and this is also called the technology we have selected. The width of the channel is being given by W, and we have selected a very small element dy. Later on, we integrate this to get the entire equation. And this particular thing is also called inversion layer, because this is going to be inverted when we are actually. Also, one more thing you noticed, that this is not a drawing mistake, that you are having this to be more and this to be less. The reason for this is your drain is positive. We have holes over here, and electrons from source will travel to this particular thing. So they are having more number of electrons, less number of electrons. That's why the gradient is there. So this gradient is actually being depicted with the help of this particular thing. So let's move ahead. So here you can see. Now I will be discussing the structure and operation of the MOS transistor in detail. So here you can see that your source is grounded still and drain is grounded. So VDS is equal to 0, body is grounded. Your gate source potential is greater than threshold voltage. This is your oxide layer, this is your gate. And because of this potential is greater than threshold voltage, what happens? The channel inversion actually occurs. And please pay some attention over here that we don't have any potential in this direction or electric field in this direction. So because of that, there will be no flow of electrons from here to here, and there will be no current. The current will be there when some potential is at VDS, and that potential actually make electrons to come to the channel and being supplied to the drain. But as of now, we have not applied any potential over here. VDS is equal to 0. So there is no potential between this and this change. So there will be no flow of electrons. So VGS greater than VT naught does not ensure any carrier of current because VDS is not having any potential. For any potential to be there, what we have to do is we have to apply certain potential at VDS so that some electric field will be there in this direction. As of now, the electric field is in this direction only, so that electrons from the p-type will align themselves here to form a channel. So this particular moment is also called inversion, and the channel inversion actually happens because this is p-type substrate. Normally, we do not assume that electrons are there, but we are applying some electric field over here. So under the influence of electric field, the electrons will thus from the substrate will try and make a channel over here. So that's all as far as this particular thing is being concerned. Now, we will be moving ahead. So here you can see we have this particular depiction for all three modes so that you can have a fair idea what actually happens. So here you can see when VG is greater than threshold voltage, channel is being formed and VD is having very small value and Vs is equal to 0. So because of that, some gradient is there. So that gradient is actually being depicted here. You can see between this and this. So this is giving you the gradient. Initially, suppose this is -5, then this is -5 plus whatever value you're applying here. So that's why this is being less side. So this is your channel. This is depletion region. Now you keep on increasing the potential at this drain terminal. What happens because of the depletion region changes considerably? Here you can see the depletion region changes considerably. Also, when your threshold voltage is greater than saturation voltage for drain, then pinch off actually happens. That means channel is being reduced and your device is actually going to move into saturation after this particular point, saturation. That means after this, you keep on increasing the voltage across this, there will be no increase in the current. So from characteristics, you can see the characteristics which we have plotted in LT Spice on the other day. There you will find out that you keep on increasing VGS. This is VDS, this ID, sorry, this is VDS, this VGS. So this is constant. So what does it depict? It says that your potential is going to be this. So you are actually going to get it like this. So here you can see, actually these are changing. Yeah. So as of now, what we have gone through that you have potential being applied on the gate terminal that is greater than threshold voltage. So we have fixed VGS. On the other hand, we are changing the VD for different values. Now, when this drain source voltage, for simplicity, I am drawing it like this. This is your gate source voltage, and this is your drain source voltage. This is grounded. So this is your VDS. So we have fixed this VGS. So you keep on changing this, but your current is not going to increase after a certain point. So the moment at which your current start to saturate is called saturation point, and the point at which it happens is called pinch off point. After that, the channel gradually starts reducing. So now you are having some increase in this voltage, current, like this. And you can see the depletion region is going to be more and more. The reason for that is this is NP. This is NP, and you are applying positive potential here. So this actually behaves as your PN diode. Here you are actually applying the negative potential, then positive potential. So because of that, depletion width actually increases. So you are already familiar with this. You have studied about this in the undergraduate course. So this is how things will change. So I'm changing the pen so that you get VG is greater than VT. VD is having very small value. Here VD is equal to VD sat, at which your device saturated. Here you can see this VD sat. And if you further increase it, your channel length is actually being reduced. But current does not change considerably. So now moving ahead. Here you can see this is the final thing which I'm going to discuss with you. This will be the basis for the derivation of your current equation for long channel device. For short channel device, we do have similar steps, but lot more changes are there that we are going to cover in the near future. Long channel device greater than 90 nanometer and short channel device less than 90 nanometer. So they have different considerations. So here you can see VGS is greater than VT naught. VDS is being applied some positive potential. This is your depletion region. This is channel being created. And this is your y-axis, and your electric field is in x-axis. So BV is grounded. This is grounded. And that's all which is being required. The channel length is L. Although when we have pinch off, then this channel length is L minus delta L. But that we will take care of when we will discussing about channel length modulation. Channel length modulation. So I hope things are fine. So let's move ahead to the next slide. So here you can see the current voltage equations. So here, what is important? That you are changing the value of VDS, and these are the different values of gate source being discussed with you, that you are applying some potential here, VGS, and you keep on increasing the VDS here. So when VGS is equal to 1, you see it saturated this particular point, here. But one thing that is important, that from this point to this point, your MOS is actually behaving as a resistance. And below that, beyond that, it is actually behaving as a constant current source. Constant current source. So it depends in which mode you are going to use your MOSFET. If you are going to use your MOS as a resistance, then you have to use it in this particular region. If you're going to use it as a current source, then in this particular region. So that's the advantage of using MOS, that it can be used as a resistance, it can be used as a capacitance, it can be used as a current source. So thus, a particular MOS can be used as any other topology, thus saving a lot more size and area on your IC. So these are the characteristics called VI characteristics. We have plotted it on LTSpice other day. So here you can see now transistor actually operates in different modes of operation. Your transistor can be operated in linear mode. It can be operated in saturation mode. So we are going to discuss them one by one. So let's start. So here you can see that you are actually using the transistor in linear mode. So your source is grounded. We have applied certain potential on drain. So your electrons are moving in this direction. So current will be in this particular direction. So this is the potential at any point X. The length of the channel is L, and this is the direction. You are applying certain potential on the gate. So gate will create a channel, and this particular potential will create electric field. So movement of electrons will be there, and current will be there in this particular direction. This is P-type substrate. This is called field oxide. Okay. This is your drain, the source. This is called drain. Okay. So let's move ahead. So now, when you actually increase this particular potential, your drain source potential. So we are not increasing at source. Basically, we are applying potential at drain. So source is at grounded. So this is definitely going to increase the value of VDS. So because of that, this potential is going to be decreased. This is going to be negative. This is going to be positive. So this is actually changing the demography of your channel from this to this. And if you further increase the value of VDS greater than this particular voltage, this is called overdrive voltage, then what happens? Your channel start being pinched off. Channel started to be pinched off. So that causes the phenomena called channel length modulation. And normally we assume the characteristics to be like this, but because of channel length modulation, your characteristics are like this, because we assume the length of the channel to be constant. But because of channel length modulation, this delta L and channel length is going to be L minus delta L. So your resistance is going to be decreased and channel length is going to be increased. So current is definitely proportional to L minus delta L, and current is proportional to 1 by L. So this is going to be on the decreasing side. So this make your current to increase. So that happens when your transistor is actually in saturation. Otherwise, you will find out that for particular VGS, we are applying VDS and your current saturated this. But because of channel length modulation, your current not saturates, it keep on increasing. So now the next thing that is to be discussed, this is called pinch off. You can see now the current voltage relations. I'm directly coming on to that. So two modes are there, although three modes are there. Cutoff mode. So in cutoff mode, your current is going to be, drain current is going to be 0. And when your device is actually being in linear mode, so when your drain source voltage is less than equal to VGS minus VT, that is called overdrive voltage, then this is the equation, K and S, where K and S is process dependent parameter, V1 Cox. Cox is your oxide capacitance, Eox by Tox, VGS minus VT, and VDS square. And when your device is actually being operated in your saturation mode, then VDS is going to be greater than VGS minus VT. And normally we assume your current to be like this. But in the previous slide, I have discussed or introduced this channel length modulation thing. So this lambda is actually called channel length modulation parameter. So its value is 0.01 or maybe some slight modification depending upon component to component or technology to technology. So you will introduce this. And why mathematical things being taken care of? Because you are going to use the models for simulation purpose. And if you do not introduce this thing in your equation, definitely you are going to get some error and your practical results will not match with that. So this is the model, and here you can see the one we have discussed the other day, that your threshold voltage is going to be function of this. So normally this value is 0 in the case. So this is going to be VT naught, but if you're applying set potential here, it is going to be having different values. So here you can see these are the values in the linear mode, saturation mode, and this is the model. This is the model. That gate source is open circuit, capacitance is there, and drain current is being there. So drain current is having value. This is saturation mode. This is for linear mode. So these are the current voltage relationships already discussed with you. You can see you change the gate source potential, then your device saturates at certain point. Here you can see, and this is actually very important thing. Whenever you are going to design any system, the first thing that is of concern is IB characteristics. So here you can see IB characteristics. So VGS is being changed accordingly. This is being modified. So this is being linear in this particular region. And after that is going to be constant, but it should be like this. So modification is there. That is because of this particular parameter, 1 plus lambda VDS and also L minus delta L, because your channel length is actually being reduced after pinch off. So another thing of importance need to be discussed with you. So that is called velocity saturation. So I'm going to quote a very handy or useful example for you. So here you can see the question arises that why your characteristics become constant. So this is because of velocity saturation. Velocity saturation. So what is velocity saturation? That means you keep on increasing the electric field, but the maximum velocity and that is possible is 10 raised to power 7 meter per second. Okay. And beyond that, you keep on increasing, it will become constant. So here you will have the maximum electric field. So current will not increase further. It will be like that. And if there change is there, then that is only because of change in channel length. The example is, suppose there is a road, point A and B, and you allow cars to travel at 50 kilometers. So yeah, car will be there. Then you say that let it be 100. More cars will pass this point in a given point. You make it 200. You see there is no considerable increase. Why? Because the maximum possible speed on Indian roads in Indian conditions with a minimum risk factor is 100, or maybe beyond, maybe less than that. But for example purpose, you make it 200, but there is no considerable increase in the number of cars. So similarly, you increase in the electric field. So actually more number of electrons are coming from here to here. So that is current. What is current? Current is number of electrons being collected. So if you keep on increasing the electric field, but electron will not be traveling because the maximum speed is this. So it will reach a maximum limit. The electrons will be collected. So that's why your current becomes constant. Initially, your number of electrons will increase, but at a point, under the influence of electric field, the number of electrons will become constant. So that's why the concept of velocity saturation is there, that you keep on increasing the electric field, but after a certain point, there will be no increase in the current. This is one of the concepts, velocity saturation. So I hope you get the idea about velocity saturation. So the next thing to be discussed, you can see the one point I was discussing you few moments earlier, that long channel devices there, short channel devices there. Here you can see for the same VGS and VDD, you have different behavior in current. So that's important. On the one hand, you are scaling the things, but you are losing on the current side. Your current will not be more. So for getting more current, you need more number of amplifications, more number of devices to be cascaded. So that's why for digital, short channel devices are fine, but for analog, we are not happy. Still, you can find out in analog, people are working on 90 nanometer, 65 nanometer. The reason is this, because although you are using less number of devices, smaller devices, but to attain the same functionality, you are using more number of devices. Suppose you are having a current gain of 2. So now you are using 3 devices to get 2. So this is not giving you any sort of benefit for that. So that's all as of now for today's class. See you in the next class. So if you have anything to be discussed with me, you are free to discuss, and we will be discussing some other aspects related to MOS in the coming class. So thank you very much.